Hello, this is going to be a review on the Einhell 30-litre wet and dry vacuum. It has a 1500 watt motor, which should really help me when I'm draining down those larger radiators. It's a German vacuum. As you can see there, it says German design quality. Now, I bought this vacuum for £75 and I left the link in the description below, which will take you straight to this vacuum. Now, Einhell also make a slightly more expensive version of this vacuum. Now, the differences are you get one extra tube with the more expensive vacuum. You get one extra meter of flex on your power connection. It has different wheels. And you also get the special switch on the front, which does the auto and the on. Now, the idea of that is the auto is that if you have power tools, you can plug those into that vacuum. And then when you're doing some dusty work, you start your power tool and then it will start the vacuum also. And then when you stop using the power tool, it'll then turn the vacuum off. That vacuum retails for around £110, and of course I left a link in the description below. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you this vacuum in action on two of my heating jobs. So let's take a look at what is in the box. So let's open. So what do we get inside here? So we've got instructions, as you would expect. Got a little box here. Oh, that's one of those little sucky things for the floor. So you can see we've got that thing there. Comes a bit of cardboard. Like that. Yeah, it's just a wiper and some brushes. Okay, so we've got that bit. We've got some tubes. That, two tubes. And then we've got the vacuum. Okay. I've got the vacuum here. And you've got two clips on the side. That comes off. There's a handle which goes on there. Looks like that needs to be screwed on. And then we've got a nice little filter on here. Okay. So we've got some feet here also with the wheels on. Okay, now these are just going to slot onto here. You can see those, that's pretty straightforward. But to be honest, I'm probably going to leave these off because space is of a premium to me. I don't really need this rolling around because it's got casters on the bottom. So I'm probably going to leave these off because I don't really need them. But if you were to put those on, you can then put your tools also into here like that. And that's going to keep them safe. But I think in my van, because I'm going to be using this for doing central heating work, they're just going to fall off and get in the way all the time. So I'm going to leave these off, but I have got one of those, two, there's my handle, so it's going to go onto there. I've got three, I've got four of those. We've got the crevice tool, so suck it into little corners, and obviously there's my tube here. Right. And we've got a metal piece. Don't know what that's for. Okay, we've also got a couple of screws for the handle, that's pretty straightforward. And then we've got the foam bit. Now this is to go on when you're using it for water. Okay, and the difference with this one to my old vacuum is we do have this drain plug here. So let's take a look at that. Okay, all right, got to watch that I don't end up losing that seal. Okay, but so obviously that goes into there. And obviously, like I say, we don't want to go losing the seal, but that fits into there like that. Okay, so that might be good. I'll have to see. That might be useful. Now, I have seen a couple of reviews where people have said this is quite flimsy and, you know, it's likely to break. Now, my other hose have been exactly the same with this, and I found that they haven't broken. It's not flimsy at all, so I am not at all bothered about this. I think this will be plenty robust enough. The last thing you want is this thing springing around the place when you're trying to suck stuff up. You want it to stay nice and rigid, which is what this one is going to do. Usual connection, that just goes onto there and turns and locks, nice and simple. And of course it rotates on the end here as well. We got the same for the other side there. If we want to put that onto there, we can use this as a blower, so we can put that onto there and that's going to blow as you want. So let's see how this thing here works. Hopefully this is nice and simple. Ah yes, this is nice and simple. So that just literally unscrews like that. Does that just lock on there? Ah yeah, so as you turn it, yeah, it even says on the top here, lock and loosen and lock. Okay, so that just comes off like that. You see there's a little angle bit there, so that just slots on and then locks in there. That seems pretty simple. Now, to remove the filter is pretty simple. It just pulls up. It's got a nice tight fit because it's got rubber at the top and the bottom of the filter. So it's just a case of giving it a wiggle and pulling it up, and then it just lifts off. Okay, so that's the filter there. It's got wire mesh on the inside, paper on the outside. I shouldn't get any dust going through there. Now this bottom piece that seals the filter, you could fit it back on, but it's just going to catch water. So the best thing to do is just keep it safe with your filter. Right, now let's quickly whiz through my intro, then get back on with the video. So my name is Mark Ballard, and I'm normally making videos to help you with your central heating and your plumbing. If you find this video helpful at all, then give me a little bit of feedback by clicking on that thumbs up, and that will also help others to find the video. You can click on subscribe if you think the video is useful, and don't forget to click on the bell if you want to receive a notification the next time I upload a help video. And of course, share the video with your friends. And I'd like to say a really big thank you to everybody who's left a donation in my Toolbox fund. It is really appreciated, and it helped me to make more videos which will hopefully help you. Right, now let's get back on with the video. So you've got the usual thing, you've got a float inside here, so when the water level comes up, it's going to turn the vacuum off and you're not going to be blowing water out. I use a vacuum all the time for sucking up water when I'm working on the boilers and such like. It just makes life really easy, stops me having to have loads of bowls trying to catch water, because it's always difficult trying to catch water, as all engineers will know. Now, this does come with this foam piece, so you put this over the top here, and all this is for is to stop any bits of, maybe if you're sucking something up, you've got some sawdust or such like going in, it doesn't go up and into the impeller and block up the impeller. So you can put that onto there, and that's what that is for, just to stop any little bits from going up into the impeller. Okay, let's see how that goes tomorrow. Now this aluminium tube is for attaching your tools. Apparently they've deliberately left the end of the tube big so that you can suck up more stuff, but then it does mean that you need that piece of aluminium to attach your tools. You can see on the tube here it's slightly smaller than the other piece, so when you come to put it together it doesn't fit. But you turn the tube around and it fits in fine. But then obviously when you fit the tool on the end, that's not going to fit, and you're going to need that piece of aluminium. But it all fits together fine, but just remember, be careful with that little piece of aluminium, because it is quite small and it might be easy to lose. So maybe just keep it in one of your tools like that. The electrical power cable, when I measured it, it was 3 meters long. All right, let's just plug this baby in. Just turned off. Now we've got this on blow at the moment. There we go. Yeah, it's blowing everything around. It's quite quiet. I thought it'd be a bit louder than that. It's definitely way quieter than my other vacuum. Yeah, that seems to work. So that seems to work okay. Right, so I'm just going to screw this handle on now. It shouldn't take too long. Hopefully I've got the right screwdriver. Like that. Just the Phillips on there. Okay, so that's screwed on there now. Handle's on there, good and solid. Maybe we can put these inside here, do you think? No. No, you still can't put those in there. So that's not going to fit. But if you did want to put these in there, there's plenty of room to put those in the bottom there. I want to quickly add that if you register this with the company online, you will get 3 years of guarantee, which I think is pretty good for a vacuum. Now this is stainless steel all the way down, so that's pretty good. So that's going to be nice and easy to keep clean. And of course what I will normally do is I normally put my tube inside here, like that. Just wind it in there. Like that, so there we go. And this is a 2.5 meter tube, so if you want to know how long that is, that's how long it is. And that goes onto there like that. Then we just do the 2 clamps, 1, 2, that's it, ready to go. Now you've got this little hook here where you can hook your wire onto, like that, okay. But really I find that's just rubbish. It just falls off and you make a mess. So what I do with mine all the time is to just wrap it around the vacuum. It's nice and simple. Wrap it around there like that, and then you just bring it up, put it through your handle, poke the wire back down, and then you're ready to go to the next job. Nice and simple. And when you want to take it off, you just literally just poke that back from there, and away you go. Plug that in, take your tube out, and then we're good to go. Straight on there, whack that onto there. And sometimes I don't even bother doing the clips up, I literally just put it on, plug it in, especially if I'm in a hurry, I'm trying to get some water quickly, and just whack it on there, bang, sucking up spillage which might be coming out of somewhere where I don't want it to be coming out of. So I've now got that extra 10 litres, so I can suck up bigger radiators and catch all the water in this one go. I should be able to pick it all up in one go and then just empty it out of the drain here without having to tip it up like my old one. Yeah, and it's a little bit smaller because it hasn't got the feet here on the bottom. They come off. I think that's a good design as well. Yeah, so let's wait and see. So tomorrow I have 2 boiler jobs to do. I'm going to test this vacuum out and hopefully I'm going to film that so you can see exactly where I use this and how it performs. Now on this job the customer asked me to drain down all the system and then add some inhibitor and refill the system. So I drained all the upstairs radiators using the vacuum from the filling loop which was with the boiler that was in the kitchen. That just left 2 double panel radiators downstairs in the front room. You can see I've undone the drain valve on this radiator and the water is steadily coming out of the radiator. Now I just want to check the washer, so I'm just going to undo the rest of the drain valve and just pull that out. Now sometimes when you do this you can get a whole load of water coming out, but with the vacuum it's not a problem at all. And there we go, I'm just pulling it out with a pair of pliers because the washer is squashed, and that's that radiator now drained down. If you do want to know about draining your system and the problems you may find, then of course I made a video on that and I left it in a link below. I've replaced the washer and put the drain valve back in. Now the second radiator wasn't quite so straightforward. You can see I've taken the drain valve out and the washer has stayed stuck inside the drain valve. Now this is really common and it does mean now it'll take ages for the system to drain down, or in this case just the radiator. So I don't really want to leave that washer in there, so now I'm going to get a large screw. I'm going to screw it into the washer and hopefully I can just pull the washer out. And there we go, it's coming out steadily. And then usually when you pull this out now, you get a real gush of water come spraying out, especially if you're trying to drain the whole system. And then if that's dirty and black, it's going to go everywhere. But the vacuum, again, you can see it handled that really well, sucking up the water without any problem at all. And you can see from the towel, I've hardly had any spillage. The towel is virtually dry, and I can almost guarantee if I had a hose pipe on here, I'd certainly have more water and I'd be trying to catch it with a bowl. Now here's the new washer. I'm just putting that onto the drain valve, and now I can just screw that in. You can see all the water stop coming out. I just screw that in there, and I can put the end piece on like that. I'm then going to tighten up the drain valve with my adjustable spanner, and there we go, that's it. The entire system drained down just using the vacuum. So here I am on this job, and this one was a Baxi boiler, and there was a faulty valve that's been leaking and I had to replace it, and that's the new valve there. Now first of all I'm going to drain the boiler down. You can see the water is all coming out of that little drain point, and then I've taken this part of the valve here out. You can see how it's all corroded. Now to get to the back of the valve I had to remove the pump, and when I did that I had a sudden gush of water which I wasn't expecting because I thought all the water was out of the boiler, but as usual some came out where I wasn't expecting it to, but the vacuum handled it really well and sucked up all that water which was coming out. Then it's just a case of sucking up any water from the spillage. And here's the old valve, and here's the new one, and now it's all fitted and it's all back together again. Now for the engineers, I did have a problem. Some water did go where I didn't want it to go, i.e. on the PCB. So what I did then is I switched the vacuum to blow. Obviously I made sure that the tube was dry and there's no water being blown out, but because it's so powerful it actually blew water out, and it blew out of places where I wasn't expecting to, so that worked really well. Also the air being blown out was quite warm, which really helped. And here's the boiler back up and running again. Now the vacuum did a really great job like you would expect, and you can see I've got about 1/4 of a can of water there. I have found that just pouring the water out is still a lot easier than using the drain at the bottom of the can. Now I've just got to wipe my can out, wind up my flex, and then that's it, job done. Right, that's about it then. So I do hope my video has been helpful to you. If you want to watch my next video, then you can click on the link just here. And if you found my video helpful in any way, then please give me that little bit of feedback by clicking on that thumbs up. And like I said, that will help others to find the video. And if you enjoyed the video, then you can click on subscribe. And if you want to receive a notification the next time I upload a help video, then click on that bell. And of course, share the video with your friends. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I'd like to say a really big thank you to everybody who's left a donation in my Toolbox Fund. It's really appreciated, and it helped me to make more videos, which will hopefully help you. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time.